We're in the brand new 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz, courtesy of Faulkner Volkswagen in Mechanicsburg, PA. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. Right now, I feel like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo in the Mystery Machine. This is stinking cool. This is Volkswagen's modern microbus, essentially. It's fast, it's got a ton of nice tech, ton of Easter eggs, and it has a ridiculous amount of space in this thing as well. And of course, it's all electric. So ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so as you can imagine, there are several different trim levels for the 2025 ID Buzz. First one is going to be the Pro S, starting at $59,995. Pro S Plus for $63,495. Pro S Plus all-wheel drive for $67,995. You got the first edition for $65,495. And lastly, the first edition all-wheel drive, which is the one we are in today, starting at $69,995. But you can imagine with all those trim levels, there are two different power plants available for the ID Buzz. First one is going to be the single electric motor. That one is going to power only the rear wheels. That one puts out 282 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 time for that one, approximately 6.7 seconds. That's respectable. 10 to 90% charge in 33 minutes. The range on that one comes in at 234 miles. And actually, I was just doing a U-turn right there. It was ridiculous. So I got to actually turn on my GoPro and show this to you guys. The turning radius on this ID Buzz is ridiculously good. Like, I don't know if you guys just saw that, but this is one of the best turning radiuses, and considering how large of a vehicle it is, that's incredible. Well done, Volkswagen, for that. But anyways, back to the power plants. The other power plant is going to be the dual motor setup, and that is going to power front and rear wheels, making an all-wheel drive system. That one puts out 335 horsepower, 512 pound-feet of torque. That's ridiculous. 0 to 60 time for that one, 6 seconds flat. Range, 231 miles. So if you have the chance and you got the money, you might as well go with the all-wheel drive, because the range is only going to differ by 3. So it just makes sense. But anyways, before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in the ID Buzz, I did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. It's going to be Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Custom, adjusting things like the throttle response and the regenerative braking then as well. So before we do this acceleration, I did want to mention one other thing I first noticed when I just got in this one. The gas pedal and the brake pedal, they're actually play and pause pedals. So the gas pedal is going to have the play button and the brake pedal is going to have the pause button. I just wanted to mention that real quick. But let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the ID Buzz here to the test, and let's see how quickly we can get this one here up to speed. All right, guys, found our straightaway in 3, 2, 1, go! Oh my gosh! What the? This isn't real. That was ridiculous. This thing literally just chucked my head into the back of this headrest, man. Like, this is not as big as it is. It doesn't feel as big as it is. This is like a go-kart, but with a ridiculous amount of space. Imagine a go-kart, but like an Escalade, or like a go-kart, but a Suburban. This is ridiculous. It defies all logic. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 15-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 13-inch rear drum brakes. As far as that 60 to 0 stopping distance goes, that comes in at 121 feet. As far as braking feel goes, it's okay. Honestly, it's not my favorite. It doesn't feel like, it feels like an electric car. I'll put it that way. It feels like an electric car braking feel. It's definitely on the softer side of things, kind of squishy, if I'm being honest. So wouldn't have minded if Volkswagen firmed up that braking feel a little bit to kind of match the ridiculous acceleration in this thing. But I don't know, that's just my take. And the other thing is with the braking is there's no one pedal drive either. So yeah, there's that. But anyways, then touching on suspension and handling. Up front, you're going to get an independent strut type front suspension. In the back, compact multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. As far as ride quality goes, now that has been perfectly fine in my short little test drive here today. Definitely don't have any issues with the ride quality. Could definitely take this thing on a long road trip to Ocean City, Maryland, and yeah, that would be fun. But as far as steering feel goes, I like that too, actually. It's a little bit on the heavier side of things, but either way, it immediately points you in the direction that you want to go. So a very nice steering feel to this. As far as cabin noise goes, we're going 30 miles per hour right now. I'll let you guys be the judge of that through my road mic. I've had absolutely no issues whatsoever. Then touching on rear visibility, I can see actually perfectly fine out the back. I mean, I feel like it goes on for quite a while, but because of the shape of the ID Buzz and with it having such a flat back end to it, I can see perfectly fine out of my rear view mirror there. The other thing is, touching on forward visibility, rain sensing windshield wipers do come standard, so you gotta love that. Whenever this thing detects any kind of mist or rainfall, it's gonna automatically turn on the windshield wipers for you, so another big plus there. Also, I have a very high seating position. I just wanted to mention that as well. And the other thing is, I think this is probably the furthest I've ever put my camera away from my face on the windshield here when I'm filming, so this is gonna look interesting. I don't know how it's gonna look, but I feel like you guys are forever away from me right now because the windshield is so far out from the driver as you're driving this thing. So it's another little thing, and you can't see any kind of hood whatsoever. It's just like the hood just drops down straight, which kind of is what this vehicle is, which is just interesting. It's not something that I'm used to driving, so I don't know, I'm having fun. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, you guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz, finished in Mahi Green and Candy White. That is the combination that we have with us here on this one. I love this color combo. So unique. This looks like nothing else on the road. I love this thing. But anyways, let's go ahead and start with where the ID Buzz is made. Taking a look at the VIN, first character is the letter W, indicating that this one is built and assembled in Germany. Gotta love that as well. But starting up front, classic microbus style looks, but modernized, of course. To the sides, LED projector headlights do come standard for all trim levels. You get signature daytime running lights, you get the automatic feature, you get automatic high beams as well. So if you have your high beams on at night and it senses the vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bounce it back up to high beams for you there. You also get an adaptive front lighting system though. So if you're going around a bend at night, those headlights are going to swivel based on the direction of your steering angle, better help illuminating what is around the bend, so you're less likely to hit a deer or an alien or a protester. I don't know. Anyways, you got the massive Volkswagen logo up front as well, possibly the most vibrant color options for this one as well. If you go on Volkswagen's website and you try to configure one of these things, it's just nothing but vibrant colors. I absolutely love it. And you also got that adaptive cruise control sensor down there at the very bottom as well, in case you were curious what that was. But very, very unique look, like nothing else on the road. I think this thing is freaking awesome. But that pretty much rounds out the front end. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the side. All right, so now since we are around to the side of this one, all the way on that deep pillar in the back there, you got some first edition badging. You gotta love that. Two-tone paint options, like I was saying earlier. You got gloss black, power adjustable side mirrors. They will be heated with LED integrated turn signals. Then taking a look down at the wheel setup, they are 20-inch aluminum alloy wheels for all trim levels. Now the color is going to differ in the middle a little bit, so with the upper trim levels you're going to get the silver finish, with the lower trim levels you're going to get a black finish. Either way, it still looks good, but just wanted to mention that. And those wheels are of course designed to optimize airflow as expected, so that looks good. You guys see those windows within the second windows there, on the second door there? That is pretty darn cool as well. You can actually open that up for maybe your dog or something to stick their head out there. That's pretty cool. Or you can stick your head out there. It's whatever you're into. But I thought that was a pretty cool feature as well. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of this one, all the way to the top, gloss black shark fin antenna. Just below that, rear spoiler with an integrated brake light. Just below that, rear window wiper. You have an extremely bright LED light strip going across the middle there with the LED taillights. That looks absolutely amazing. I love that. And probably the largest manufacturer logo that I've ever seen on a vehicle. I thought Acura had made the largest ones, but I take that back. Volkswagen now has the largest logo on this ID Buzz for sure. But anyways, oversized Volkswagen logo for sure. But that pretty much rounds out the back. I usually do an exhaust clip here, but this is an electric vehicle, so let's go ahead and make our way on to the inside. All right, so now since we are around to the back of the ID Buzz here, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is a power tailgate for all trim levels across the board. However, for the Pro S Plus trim level and up, it's going to be a hands-free power tailgate, so that's one way to open it. There's a button on the key fob, a button on the tailgate itself, and a button on the driver's side door then as well. But once opened up, this is one of the best parts here. Cargo capacity behind that third row, 18.6 cubic feet. With that third row folded down behind the second row, that's going to come in at 75.5 cubic feet. That's a ton. And then with all rows folded down, 145.5 cubic feet. So in case you wanted to compare that a little bit, the Chevy Suburban comes in at 144, so it beats that. Beats the Chevy Tahoe at 122. Telluride comes in at what, 88 cubic feet. Highlander might be 87. Toyota Sienna, Honda Odyssey, they all come in at right around 100 cubic feet even. Same with the Grand Highlander. So what I'm trying to say is 145.5 might be the most cargo space that I have ever seen in a vehicle out of my last 1,000 drives that I've done. That is ridiculous, but there is a 60-40 split, so you can fold those rear seats down. Got some cargo lighting back there. There's a 12-volt power outlet. You got grocery hooks back there as well. So cargo space is definitely where it's at with the ID Buzz. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the third row legroom. Get ready for this. This is also the most I've ever seen. 42.4 inches. You usually don't find that in the second row. The fact that the third row gets that much is insane. For reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the third row there. Plenty of space for me. You could put the tallest individual in the third row and they would be completely fine. And believe it or not, the third row actually has more legroom than the second row. Second row legroom comes in at 39.9 inches. Again, for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall, still plenty of space for me. By the way, rear ventilation can be found up top, so it's going to be found kind of on the ceiling in this thing, so all three rows can stay comfortable there. You also have USB charging ports for both the second and the third row as well. You got cup holders for both the second and the third row, and of course the ability to open and close that second row window as well, which I think is pretty stinking cool. And by the way, if you were curious about the bench seating versus the captain's chairs come standard on the all-wheel drive configurations, and then captain's chairs is optional on the Pro S Plus rear-wheel drive. Otherwise, you get bench seating, just to let you know. But so then making our way up to the front seats, perforated leather seating will come standard. You get 12-way power adjustable front seats, both driver and passenger, with dual armrests, by the way. So the thing is with the dual armrest, if you have the dual armrest down on the driver's side here, when you go to get out, it's going to stop you. So just remember to put it back up, because it definitely stopped me, but that's okay. Thigh extensions for the driver's seat here, they're ventilated and heated seats. You got memory settings as well. And the very best part, massaging front seats. I had the massaging seats on the entire drive so far, so that's pretty cool as well. And seat comfort, by the way, 100% on point. Definitely no issues there. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping. It is going to be heated. That comes standard as well. And 10 and 2 grips are perfectly fine. Now let's go ahead and make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key here. This is a very heavy duty key, by the way. But Volkswagen logo on the one side. When you flip it over, lock, unlock, that button to pop the rear tailgate, and then you got the side doors you can open up with that key as well. But it is all keyless entry with a push button start. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the pause and press that engine start button located just by the driver's right knee there. And so once started up, when it comes to the gauge cluster, it is a 5.3-inch digital gauge cluster, and I've always liked this in Volkswagen. It may be a smaller gauge cluster, but I think it's stinking cool. Front and center, you got your digital speedometer, you got speed limit recognition, you have your outside temperature, you have how many miles left until you run out of battery. It has everything you need on there. So quite honestly, I love this gauge cluster. It's super bright as well. But now let's go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. For the first edition trim level, you're going to find a panoramic glass roof, and it's a smart dimming glass roof as well. So it can be either clear or it can be completely frosted. So that is pretty cool. So if I swipe my finger backwards, it basically opens up the entire roof. And then if I swipe it forwards, it closes it up with that frosted look. This is something that I could probably play around with for another 15 minutes or so, because I think that is just wild. I love that. Auto dimming rearview mirror does come standard LED interior lighting as well. You got 30 colors of ambient lighting. I love that. Footwell lighting also coming standard on this one. Wireless phone charger as well. Just below the infotainment screen, you have this little cubby that folds out, and you have cup holders there, or you can push the cubby in. And then you have this kind of almost level system between the passenger and the driver. So that is pretty cool. Also, you have the door buttons to open the side doors just underneath the infotainment screen there as well. A lot of storage within the center armrest here. I like that. Got a frameless rear view mirror with a compass in the upper right hand corner and HomeLink controls to up to 3 different garage doors. You also have this cool ambient lighting found just kind of on the dash here as well. I thought that was pretty nice. But I think my favorite part about the interior quality of this thing, a couple of things here. Got kind of this wood look on the dash, although I don't think it's real wood. It kind of feels like plastic, but nonetheless, it looks good. But I think I love the two-toned interior combination that we have with us here. It's kind of this light and peachish kind of color, or orange color combo, and I think it works really, really good on the ID Buzz, and that's continued on to the seats as well. Just above the passenger side glove box, you got a little bit of rubberized storage there. You have this multi-level kind of shelf system on the doors with rubberized storage. I think that's pretty cool too. And by the way, since I didn't say it, the wireless phone charger is kind of located right around the push button start, just in front of that. So that's it's kind of hidden because the steering wheel is kind of in your line of view there. So I wanted to mention where that's located. But overall, interior quality is 100% on point. I love it. It's so different. But let's go ahead and take a look at the infotainment screen now. It's a 12.9-inch central infotainment screen. You get Bluetooth and audio streaming, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Factory navigation system comes with the first edition trim that we have today. You can adjust your ambient lighting settings up there. You can adjust your massaging seats up there. Climate control settings as well. Pretty much everything is up there that you can think of. Also your driving modes, of course, as well, along with your radio information. So when it comes to the sound systems, 9 speakers comes standard. However, for the Pro S Plus in the first edition, you do get a 13-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. So that is the one that we have with us here today. Let's go ahead and turn on the radio. Let's see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. That was pretty darn good. Like, plenty of bass with that, plenty of clarity. Clarity is 100% on point as well, so that's a really good sound system for the ID Buzz. Yeah, I like that. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen is when you do put the ID Buzz in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. That's why it's beeping right now, I guess. Not the highest quality rear view camera, believe it or not, but it does get the job done. You do have a 360-degree monitor there as well, giving you that bird's eye view, letting you know what is completely all around you, which, by the way, comes on the Pro S Plus trim level and up, but that is going to lead us into safety. And so ID Buzz is not yet rated by IIHS, so I did want to start by mentioning that. Front side curtain airbags do come standard. You got latch in the back, aka lower anchors to tether your children for the rear car seats. Rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard. A blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert. You have dynamic road sign display, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist detection, semi-automated driving assistance then as well. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here of the ID Buzz, there's a lot to like about this thing, quite honestly. It's groovy and it's neat, for one. Also, so much space. It's more space than any vehicle I think that I've ever tested, so that's absolutely wonderful as well. Extremely quick for its size. So 0 to 60 in 6 seconds flat. In an electric car, it's crazy. It's instantaneous torque and just throws your headrest in the back of the seat, so love that as well. Also, the colors, not just on the outside, but the inside. The color combinations are so wonderful. I love it. It's unlike anything else on the road. Love this little digital gauge cluster. I know it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal for me. I think that's pretty darn cool. The only 2 constructive criticisms that I can give for this one, and they're kind of a big deal as well. So the range isn't the most range out there. It's not a huge deal if you have just a short commute to work or something like that. But I'm just saying there is other vehicles out there with a lot more range than the ID Buzz. And the other thing that particularly bothers me is the braking feel on this one. I need to see a little bit firmer of a braking feel. It just feels like an electric braking feel, which isn't necessarily a good thing. And also, there's no one-pedal drive either. I think I would love to see that in this too. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of the ID Buzz in the comments section below. Overall, I liked it. Feel free to follow me on social media somewhere on the screen if you want to see what's coming next on the channel before it gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe with the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. That is what we've been doing for 11 years now on the channel. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold. Camera is a decade away. Groovy glasses on. Feel like Shaggy. Oh gosh, that's a reach. Gotta love electric cars, bro. Ain't nobody hear me. Nobody knows I'm coming. They're just like, whoa. I didn't even hear you there. Darn it. Ah.